It's time for Dodger baseball.
What's going on, Dodgers Nation? Welcome to the Dodgers Nation postgame show. I'm your host, Doug McCain. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMac_LA. And welcome after the Dodgers walk it off. Mookie Betts, 3-2 pitch. Little sinker, caught too much of the plate. He rips it to left, and the Dodgers win by a final score of 3-2. Their fourth walk-off win of the season, their 45th comeback win of the season. And we have a lot to get into on this one. Put this show together a little late. Was expecting to do a show tonight, but hey, a little emergency show for you guys because hey, we have to talk Dodger baseball like we always do. First and foremost, I want all your thoughts on tonight's game. Do you have any concerns about this Dodgers offense? Yes, it was Zach Gallen. Yes, Gallen has been one of the best pitchers in baseball in the second half of the season, possibly the best pitcher in baseball, and he was absolutely dealing tonight. You have to tip your cap. It was Galentine's Day. My only issue is why didn't he do this last year when I had him on my fantasy team? But hey, that's another conversation. But Gallen was dealing. He ends up with 13 punch-outs, goes 8 innings, allows just 2 hits, 98 pitches too. He could have possibly came out there for the 9th inning, but the Dodgers, they come back. And I think this Dodger team, they needed a spark. They needed a win after they looked a little sloppy. They looked a little mentally checked out over the last 2 games. Yes, you have 104 wins. Yes, you're on pace to obliterate your franchise record in wins. But here we go. Let's jump into this comment section because we got to talk Craig Kimbrel because Craig Kimbrel was Craig Crumble once again, and you know I have some very intense thoughts on Craig Kimbrel, and I think that we saw another Kimplosion tonight. Kimbrel was really Olaf because he melts down faster than Olaf in the desert. We're going to talk about that. We got About Time. That's from Ben over on Facebook. That was a tough to watch. That's from Sam Crandall over on YouTube. Yeah, this Dodgers offense, they haven't done much over the last few games. Tonight was another similar situation. They go 6 for 32. They strike out 13 times, and if you look at the bottom of the order, they were getting dominated too. Gavin Lux, he struggled once again, goes 0 for 3. Trace Thompson goes 0 for 3. Cody Bellinger, smash that like button for Cody Bellinger. Look, this guy, it's starting to become October, and you know when you see those pumpkin spice lattes, when you start to see football, when you start to see the leaves change colors and hoodie weather, you know that is when Cody Bellinger wakes up. And yes, I wish he was like that all season long, but it was another clutch at bat for Cody Bellinger to get things started off there in the bottom of the 9th, and I think that was a great approach for him too. He wasn't trying to do too much, shorten his swing up a little bit, and you saw he had success. Also a 3-2 count, went down and got that slider, and it went for a double. But we're going to talk about this entire game, and but let's jump into the comment section. My first question to you, it's very simple. Yes or no, should Craig Kimbrel be on the Dodgers postseason roster? I'll give you my thoughts on that in just a second, but I want to hear what you have to say, so let me know down below. And by the way, if you're new to the show, be sure to subscribe to the Dodgers Nation post-game show. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and if you really want to support the channel, smash that like button, because this is your show. I'm just hosting it, the man of the fan. You guys call me the human hype machine. D-Mac from Kevin. What up, Kevin? We got Mookie Betts. Oh, D-Mac up late. Diane Schroeder, how's Cancun? Hey, man, speaking of Cancun, I don't want the Dodgers to end up in Cancun early, so that's why I want to see Craig Kimbrel be dealt with right now, because I think it's a situation where if you're relying on Craig Kimbrel in the NLDS, can he blow a game for you and cost the Dodgers? Because let's not forget, there is no reseeding in Major League Baseball. In their postseason, there's a good chance the Dodgers could be facing the hottest team in baseball, not named the Dodgers in the second half of the season, and that is the Atlanta Braves. Their records are very similar since the beginning of June, so that's definitely something you want to consider. But also, I just want to remind you guys, I'm looking for that comment of the night. When you guys bring that comment of the night, you're going to see one of these.
You win.
And when you bring that fire take, you're going to see one of these.
Fire take.
So be on the lookout for that. If you do a crazy burn, you're going to get a finish him, Mortal Kombat style.
Finish him.
Why is Crumble still in blue? That's from Joe Correo. Get Kimbrel out of here. That's from Anthony Hernandez. Pound for pound, Mookie LFGD. Mookie Betts. Marcus Lynn Betts. He is a guy that, look, he's had his Dodger moments now. I mean, that is what you want. You want that Mookie magic. And Mookie Betts, he is I think what's so impressive, too, the fact that he comes off the bench. Like, he didn't we saw him the other day. He had the low pants Mookie. Didn't even see the socks, and he comes off the bench cold. Didn't have as great of an at-bat, but today he comes off the bench, and it's a great piece of hitting. And here, let me remind you, Mookie Betts is going to be a Dodger through the 2032 season. The 2032 season. That is crazy. What's up, Dougie Fresh? That's from Michael Negretti over on YouTube. Yeah, I think it was very impressive what Mookie Betts was able to do there. Bottom of the ninth inning, he comes in, he wins it for the Dodgers, and that is what you expect to see from your franchise player. Thank you very much, Boston Red Sox, for Mookie Betts. He's going into Cooperstown wearing a Dodgers hat. You love to see it because Mookie, he loves LA. He said it. He loves this city. He loves this organization. He loves this franchise. Everyone who works for this team, from Andrew Friedman to Dave Roberts to all of his teammates. Mookie Betts is, I think, on his way to becoming an LA icon one day, because in LA, Mookie is living his Betts life, and you love to see it. But bottom of the ninth inning, Cody Bellinger hits a leadoff double, 3-2 pitch like we talked about. He shortened his stroke. He gets on, and then Trey grounds to third. Belly was stuck at second, so he wasn't able to advance, and then they intentionally walk Freddie Freeman, so they walked that winning run right there. And then Will Smith, he hits that infield single to third. Great hustle by Freeman to get over. And then Mantiply comes in to face Max Muncy. And Max Muncy, by the way, guys, I'm not a big victory lap guy. I don't get everything right, but I sat here and looked you dead in the eye, and I promised you to trust in Max Muncy. I promised you not to sell your Max Muncy stock, because Max Muncy is a guy who has been to the depths of hell in Major League Baseball. He's a guy that was thrown away by the Oakland A's. He ends up in the Mexican leagues. He finds a way to get an invite to Dodgers camp, and he has hit more home runs since joining the Dodgers in 2018 than anyone. He has been one of their most prolific players, and it's great to see him turn it around. It's one of the great stories in baseball this year, and just kudos to Max Muncy. All the respect in the world, because Max Muncy has max toughness, max grit, and he's a guy that has absolutely found it at the plate. He made the adjustment, a little step back that would make James Harden proud, and it changed everything. Allowed him to get his bat on the ball, allowed him to get behind fastballs, and you saw too, he's getting healthier throughout the season, because early in the year, if you look at some of his bats, he just didn't have that finish, but now you're seeing a lot of hard contact, and he also was the reason why the Dodgers got their first run there early in the game. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but I want your thoughts on Craig Kimbrel. I'm going to jump into this comment section right now, and then we'll keep breaking down this game. So here we go, guys. Welcome to the Dodgers Nation post-game show. The Dodgers get the dub. Your Los Angeles Dodgers, 104 wins on the season, now sitting at 104 and 46. 104 and 46. This team continues to blow your mind. I mean, think about this. This team clinched the NL West with 21 games to play, a historic season, and kind of one of the talking points late in the season is, did they clinch too early? Yeah, you might be able to make that case if you're looking to stay sharp, but the reality is it was better for the Dodgers to clinch early so they have enough time to get healthy, to get fresh, and not wear out all the tread on those tires. But if you look at the Dodgers, they sit 21 games up on the San Diego Fraud Rays. By the way, the Padres playing much better. I don't know if they won tonight, but they had won 5 in a row. I watched their game last night at 2 o'clock in the morning for some reason, because that's just what I do. You know what I'm saying? But if you look at the Dodgers as a whole, they're still 5.5 games up on those Houston Astros, and you know that they want to stay on top of that. They want to fight off the Astros, who have been very hot lately, and if they finish strong, they could contend for that as well. Try to get that best record in baseball. But let's jump back into this comment section, guys. Welcome to the Dodgers Nation post-game show. And where's my comment section here, guys? Here we go. We got Crumble is just pure poop. That's from Boomer Assassin. That's a finish him. Bye-bye Crumbles from Diane Schroeder. Pods lost tonight. That's from Iris K. So they didn't have a 5-game winning streak that was snapped today. They did not win. Home field is more important. That's from Joe Correo. Doug, when can we expect Gallon in a Dodgers jersey? Trent Thomas, hey, let me wait to the offseason, and then I'll get my jersey swaps. I'll do my work. I'm thinking about doing an Aaron Judge one, a DeGrom one. You know, I'm very tempted because I love me some player mobility. That's just what I do. But we'll get there. Trust me. We'll cross that bridge when we are ready. But Zach Gallen, like I said, I mean, I mean, I have a very close connection with Zach Gallen. I mean, my connection with Zach Gallen is the fact that I had him on my fantasy league last year. He was on my fantasy team, and I think that that really gives me a lot of credibility when it comes to talking Galentine's Day. And no, but in all seriousness, that guy is an absolute beast. And as much as I love Julio Urias, Gallen's actually had the better second half. When you look at the ERA, Julio has him there. But when you look at FIP, XFIP, some of the more advanced statistics, they really love Zach Gallen. And I think that it was on display tonight is his ability to just absolutely dominate hitters by punching guys out, by missing bats. And, yeah, you got to tip your cap because Zach Gallen was fantastic. And there's no doubt that he has really established himself as one of the most lethal, filthy, dangerous pitchers in the league. We're going to talk about the performance of some of the other Dodgers tonight too, but yeah, Zach Gallen, that four-seam fastball, the way he was locating it, that curveball, he got 10 swings and misses off that curveball, the cutter, the changeup. He ends up throwing 98 pitches. But here we go, Mookie. Jumping back into your takes here. I want your takes on Craig Kimbrel because we're going to talk about that. D-Mac with the clutch emergency post-game show. Yeah, absolutely. D-Mac, I turned the channel when Kimbrel came in. Wendy, why? Well, yeah, it was rough. It was a tough watch. I always say it's painful to watch Craig Kimbrel out there, and it's not just because it looks like he's stuck in a pillory. It's because he lacks command, and that was the issue in the top of the ninth. And yes, that didn't hit Jake McCarthy. I'll give you that. Yes, it didn't hit Jake McCarthy. Yes, that bounce he shouldn't have been on, and I'm not going to fight you on that because I do get some Kimbrel defenders every now and then that, sometimes, to me, I always say, unless it's a Mookie Betts, unless it's some guy that's under contract for 1,000 years like Mookie Betts, don't fall in love with players, fall in like with players because once you fall in love with players, you lose your objectivity, and optimism becomes delusion, and I think that's been the case for Craig Kimbrel supporters, Craig Kimbrel truthers at this stage in the game because you look at that at bat, he did get ahead in the count to McCarthy, and then he hit him by a pitch. It was a knuckle curve, but still he still yanked it. It was still low and inside. So yes, it did not hit him, but it was still a bad pitch. It was a non-competitive pitch. So still he gets himself in that situation. But he got out of that jam because McCarthy, he was caught stealing second, and it was a great throw there by Will Smith. So he was caught stealing, and even that pitch, too, was not a good pitch that he threw. And then on the 2-2 to Christian Walker, I mean, my goodness. I mean, he turns into Aaron Judge when he plays the Dodgers. I mean, he is an absolute beast when he sees that Dodger blue, especially at home. I just remember so many moments where he's had success. Well, 2-2 pitch, knuckle curve, and they wanted it outside, and it's a middle pitch hanging right there, and Walker absolutely tattooed it, goes 435 feet. And the Diamondbacks, they take a 2-1 lead, and then he walks Rojas on 5 pitches. And just look at that at bat. Struggle with the command of that curveball, of the four-seam fastball, and then he's able to strike out Alcantara swinging on a four-seam fastball up in the zone to get out of the inning. So 1 run on 1 hit, and Craig Kimbrel just does not have it. The reality with Craig Kimbrel is he is just not good. If you watch, I dropped a video today on the bullpen. I gave you his advanced numbers. If you want to know them, we can get into that. And really early in the year, the BABIP gods, it was extremely high. They weren't favorable to him, but in the Kimbrelsa era, they've actually been favorable. He has benefited from some good luck per se, but the contact has been hard. You've seen loud outs. You've still seen a lack of command, and he's missing less bats. He's striking out less guys, and what that means is he's been pitching to contact more, but when he pitches to contact, they rock him. So Craig Kimbrel, look, yes, he's going to go down as one of the best closers ever if you look at regular season numbers. And I won't try to take that away from the guy, but he just hasn't been able to find it. I think it's a father of time is undefeated situation. His stuff is just not as electric as it once was. And he's just very hittable. That's just the reality, and he's really hittable, and his command is bad. And when you combine those two things, it's a bad recipe. So Kimbrel, look, I think it's fitting that he changed his walkout song to Let It Go, because now it's time for the Dodgers to let him go. That's just the reality, and it's a rare L for Andrew Friedman. Andrew Friedman's great, but even the greats, aren't batting 1,000. And I think that it is a rare L for him. And yeah, I mean, Craig Kimbrel's a guy, 394 saves. He gets the win tonight, right? I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, of course. Hell to the no. That's from Rod Wilson. We got Reyes Maranta, bleeds Dodger Blue. That's from Ruben Gutierrez. That's a fire take. Yeah, hey, first of all, I just love me some Reyes Maranta. I just do. I love watching that guy pitch. I want to get a Reyes Maranta jersey at some point. And, yeah, he did not look his best out there tonight, but someone is paying him to throw games. That's from Lucky over on YouTube. Yeah, I mean, look. It's just that the thought of Craig Kimbrel coming in the NLDS is terrifying. Look, I'm less scared of Michael Myers in October than I am of Craig Kimbrel. That's just the reality because he has done nothing to inspire confidence, and it's not like you're hating on him. I mean, look, I guess but depending on what happens with Blake Treinen, who we didn't get the best news with Blake Treinen, and I dropped a video about Blake Treinen and the latest with him. He just hasn't bounced back like the Dodgers had hoped when how he's been dealing with that shoulder injury. And if Blake Treinen can't make it back, and there's a situation where some of these other guys can't make it back, we'll see what happens with Yancy Almonte, who has another rehab start coming up, and rehab appearance coming up, and can he find his way back? Will Tony Gonsolin make his way back? But still, there's still guys. There's a lot of depth. I mean, Tommy Kahnle, Phil Bickford is a guy. David Price is a guy that could potentially help this Dodgers bullpen more than Craig Kimbrel can. Because the reality is, if he can't close games for you in a clean inning, then he has no role on this team. Because you saw what he was able to do last year. You saw what he did for the Chicago White Sox as a setup man and for Hendricks, and he was atrocious. He had an ERA over 5. He was abysmal. So it just can't happen. Clayton Lockhart, sub DMAC, just smashed that like button. Go Dodgers. Thanks, Clayton. I appreciate you. Great name. I know a Dodgers pitcher who has that name. Boob, 9-Gil, Bruisdar, Cholesterol helped us out tonight. Okay, I'm dead.
Finish him.
Whoever said the Bruisdar cholesterol in reference to Reyes Maranta, I don't know who you are, but you got me weak, okay? I'm dead. I'm deceased. More Mookie magic. That's from Daniel Bowler. Yeah, Mookie Betts. He is the face of this franchise. When you are compensated like he is, when you do have his contract with the Dodgers, you are expected to come up in big situations. When you sign a 12-year, $365 million deal, you got to come up big in those situations, and he did just that. Mookie Betts, cold off the bench, comes up, saves the day for the Dodgers. I hope Craig Kimbrel buys him a steak dinner. I hope Craig Kimbrel buys him whatever Mookie wants because he really saved the Dodgers tonight. Going up there, 3-2 count, put a great swing on it, and he saves the day, giving the Dodgers their 4th walk-off win of the season, their 45th comeback win of the year. And this was a night where the Dodgers offense wasn't doing very much. They left the bats at home. They were cold as ice. And we got more comments here. Mookie has a best friend now with Freeman, so of course he loves LA even more. Yeah, they're BFFs. You're talking about Stevie Williams and Tiger Woods. DFA crumble ASAP. That's from Gary Webb over on YouTube. Kathy, anyone but Kimbrel in any important game, please. Yeah, who do you guys think should close games for the Dodgers? I'll ask you that. I think for me, I've always held true that you go closer by committee, and we'll talk about some of the efforts of the relievers tonight who are just playing fantastic. I mean, Alex Vesia was on his game tonight. Alex Vesia in the 7th inning, just attacking the zone, pounding that zone with fastballs, using that elevated heater to punch guys out. And he ends up striking out the side, and he just continues to build confidence. And he was very impressive. Very impressive. He strikes out Luplow with that 4-seam fastball up in the zone. Alcantara with the 4-seam fastball. And then he gets Varsho swinging with the 4-seam fastball up and away, gets him to chase. So, look, it's 94 miles per hour, but it has that life. It has that not like what Sandy Koufax used to say, don't throw it through to the catcher, throw it through the catcher. So it definitely has that feel for it. So, yeah, very impressed with Alex Vesia tonight. Don't mess ya with Alex Vesia. Super Mario. It's me, Mario. So, yeah, definitely impressed with him. And how about kudos to Brusdar Graterol? I think Brusdar Graterol, he made his return, and he was very impressive. Did have some high pitch counts on some of those at-bats, but he gets Perdomo to ground to second there in the 8th inning, using that cutter. And then to Marte, he gets him to ground to first, also using that cutter to induce off contact. And then Carroll, he gets him swinging with a 95-mile-per-hour cutter, and very impressive. So you saw him go with more cutters than you're typically used to seeing with him, and then he also threw that four-seam fastball. So I'm telling you, Brusdar Graterol, that stock, it's going up. Buy stock in Brusdar Graterol. He's a guy that has definitely worked on some things to refine that pitch mix. He's changing the way he attacks hitters. He's always been a guy that throws strikes, and he pounds the zone. That's why you see a lot of contact, and it's a lot of times it's soft contact. So I was very impressed with him. Evan Phillips, what more can you say about Dr. Phil? Evan Phillips, he was also outstanding. He comes in there for Julio Urias. He strikes out Walker swinging, slider, filthy, and gets Kelly swinging with the slider as well. So a nice night for the bullpen. And also Julio Urias. What more can you say about the Urias? He's been fantastic all season long. He's been a rock for this Dodgers rotation. He's been a guy you can count on. And Julio Urias was fantastic. He ends up on the night. Maybe he could have gone a little longer, but I think that he did a really nice job getting himself out of some jams there. But Julio, he ends up going 5 1/3, allowed just 1 run on 3 hits, had 5 punch-outs. And, yeah, I think, top of the third there was impressive by Julio Urias. Because when you consider, let's jump back in the comments and we'll talk a little more about Julio's outing. But give me your take. Should Craig Kimbrel make the postseason roster? To me, I think you change the code to the Dodgers facility and you do him like Jamal Adams on the Jets, where he's walking in and he can't even get in. He's like, you cut me already? I think that's something you might have to consider. But here we go. Sacramento, California in the house. What up, Michael, over on Facebook? We got Happy Jansen Brown. Interest F. Happy Jansen Brow. We got Go Doyers from Ferris Bueller. Wax Off. Oh, my goodness. I shouldn't have read that. This is a family post-game show. Hell no, Kimbrel blows. That's from Boomer Assassin. Yeah, here we go. Where's my comments? There we go. There's my comments here. So here we go. No playoff roster spot for Crumble. That's from Andrew. Hashtag Vintober. Love that one. That's a winning comment. Let him go. Clean out his locker. Yeah, hide his glove, right? Like we said earlier in the year, just hide his glove in the bullpen so he can't use it. Lux is not good defensively. Not good. Yeah, I mean, Lux did have a little blunder there for sure in the 3rd inning. So that was a throw that really you're trying to get the lead runner in that situation, and he lets him get away. And, yeah, definitely not a good throw by Gavin Lux. And he's a guy where you just want to stay locked in mentally. And let's talk about that top of the 3rd inning. So Alcantara, he singles to right. A slurve that caught a little too much of the plate. And then Varsho, he grounded into that fielder's choice to first, and Alcantara made it to second. Varsho second, and Alcantara was safe at third on that throwing error by Gavin Lux. So definitely that's a throw that he shouldn't make, and if he is, he has to make sure he's on the money with it. And every now and then you're going to have that with Gavin Lux. You're going to see a mental error when he's unable to complete a throw, or he just misses a throw badly, or he'll let one get through his legs, or he'll kick one. I mean, we've seen that early in the year against the Phillies in the same game that he walked it off. We saw some throws to first that he wasn't unable to complete. So, yeah, he's a guy that's why, to me, he's not my shortstop of the future. I don't even think that is even on the table at this point. I don't even think that is a contingency plan for the Dodgers. And, hey, man, Gavin Lux, talk to him sometimes. He's a guy fully respect. I think that he's a future all-star. I truly believe that. But he just has to clean some things up defensively to become more consistent for sure. And then Perdomo, he grounds to second. And then what really hurt Julio in that inning was he walks Marte. And then on a 3-2 pitch, he ends up missing with that four-seam fastball. He walks him. And then Garrett hit a sac fly to center, scoring Alcantara, making it 1-0 D-backs. But Julio was able to get Rivera to ground into that fielder's choice to third to get Varsho. So he did a really nice job limiting that damage. They get 1 run on 1 hit and 1 error. So Julio, he's a guy who he has that slow heartbeat. He's got Urias in his veins. If there's runners on, he's able to just take a deep breath, focus on the hitter, and just get 1 out at a time. And that's why he's very clutch for this Dodgers team, is he's able to step up big in tightrope situations. So nice job, because it really could have gotten away for the Dodgers, because if you give Gallen a 2 or 3 run lead, then it's really going to get away. But we jump to the bottom. We'll jump back in the comment section. What are your thoughts on Julio's outing? Any other big takeaways you have? I thought Brusdar Graterol, it's one of my big takeaways. I thought he looked really good. I was really impressed by the way he used that cutter. You saw a 100-mile-per-hour four-seam fastball, the bazooka. Like I always say, he should change his number to 76 because he throws straight gas, homie. So, yeah, I was impressed by him. Lots of soft contact. I think he's an absolute lock, of course, to be in this Dodgers postseason. A fire take. You want a fire take? That's a fire take pound for pound.
Fire take.
D-Mac and Wordsmith. Hey, Carnivorous Lunar Activity, you always make me laugh in the comments, man. You always got me rolling. As all you guys do, to be honest. That's why I come on here, because you guys always you always have me rolling, man. Just some day brighteners out there in Dodgerland. But the Lux defense is atrocious. That's from everybody's master. Boomer Assassin. Kimbrel needs to go. Boomer Assassin, I feel more confident with Hanser over Kimbrel's. That's a fire take. I think Kimbrel's done for the. I think Trinan is done for the year. Boomer Assassin. Yeah, it's a situation where early in the year, and when he's dealing with that torn capsule in his shoulder, it just sounds very painful. The famed Dr. Neil Elitrach, he looked Blake Trinan in the eye, and he told him that, hey, your season's over. You should probably get surgery. And we're talking Dr. Neil Elitrach. He is the GOAT. He's the Michael Jordan of orthopedic surgeons, and Blake Trinan chose to try to rehab this. And I always say he didn't get a PRP shot. He got a POP shot, a power of prayer. And he said that he tried to make his way back, and it's looked like it's going to be difficult for him to make it back. I hope I'm wrong. I said a few weeks ago, if he does come back, I just see it as a bonus at this point. But even if he does, it's going to be in a limited role. You're not going to see Blake Trinan of last year where he has an up-down, where he starts an inning and then comes out and gets a couple more outs. It's going to be one inning of work max. You're not going to see him on back-to-back days. So I think it's really next man up, and I think that at some point he's going to complicate roles down the stretch. I think that we're getting to a point with only a few weeks left. You really have to solidify this bullpen and go with the guys that you really trust. And we know who's been there all season. And I think Evan Phillips is a guy that Fireman Phillips has proven that he's put out fires all season long, and I trust him in a big spot. Now, I know he doesn't have the postseason experience, but he's a guy who's been filthy all season. He's been consistent, and he's been really a top 10 to 15 reliever for the Dodgers. Then don't forget about Tommy Kahnle. Tommy Kahnle, the way he uses that changeup, the way he uses that fastball, his command has been on point. Didn't allow a hit in his last appearance. He hasn't allowed a run in two and two-thirds innings. Hasn't allowed a hit either. So he's a guy that I'm very quietly confident in because of his postseason experience, because of the fact that he's pitched for a big marquee franchise, the New York Yankees, and also the fact that the Dodgers, they signed him knowing that he was going to miss the entire 2021 season because he underwent Tommy John surgery late in 2020, knowing that it was about this year. And I think the Dodgers are going to want to use him, but send him to the Kimbrel bullpen. Irving, closer by committee. We got EB Evans. Phillips should be the closer. Diane Schroeder says closer by committee. Eric says Phillips should be our closer. Hallelujah. If the Dodgers can afford to have Hanser and Cody in the team, they should also keep Kimbrel. Closer by committee is fine, leaving out Bigford and Kim Blows. That's from Boomer Assassin. Yeah, I mean, I think the thing with closer by committee is you do want to keep these high leverage guys in spots where Doc can use and deploy them up and down from the 5th through even the 8th inning, because that's usually when the game is in the balance. Sometimes you're facing the meat of the order in the 8th inning, and that is when the game's decided. Also, look, starters are going an average of 5 into 2/3 innings this season. For the last 5 years, in the postseason, you've seen starters go just 60% of the time. So, I mean, you're seeing bullpen guys go 52% of the time. So, the point is, it's increasingly becoming a bullpen game. It is a battle of the bullpens, and you don't want to just have Evan Phillips for that 9th inning because you might need him earlier in the game in a bigger spot with runners on facing the top of the order, the meat of the order in a big situation. What is Gagne doing right about now? That's a winning take from B. Guzman. By the way, I don't know about you guys, but Kimbrel, he's really leading. I don't even drink every day, but now with Craig Kimbrel, man, I've been crushing brews, and to me, my drink of choice is a Jim Beam High Ball seltzer. So that to me is my drink of choice, especially when I see Craig Kimbrel warming up in that Dodgers bullpen.
Fire take.
I'm a better closer than Crumble, and I'm 61 years old, drinking protein shakes with Strikeout King Gallo, JKA. Oh, that's what I said. I was like, hey, my man, how you doing, Angel Swole over on YouTube? My man, dude, you look like you ate Joey Gallo and had Gabe Kapler for dessert, man. You are yoked, my man. Is your dad the Incredible Hulk? I mean, just seriously asking that question. Bring up Miller. That's from Juan Ramirez. You can't just bring up, because look, with Bobby Miller, they missed that date. You had to add him on that 40-man roster by September 1st. They missed that, so there is a loophole where there's an injury situation where some guy's done for the season. There is a way you can maneuver him on. It's possible, but I just don't see it happening. What you expect, Latino Power? I want Phillips as the closer. That's from Jeff over on YouTube. Kathleen Lyons, thanks for mentioning Alex Vesia. Always gets the job done. Checking in from Del Rey. Thanks, Kathleen Lyons over on Facebook. Yeah, Alex Vesia, hey, man, in a tight situation, I want Mr. Tight Pants out there because he is definitely a guy that is brimming with confidence, and his stuff is electric, and it was on display once again tonight, the way he struck out the side. So very impressive night by Alex Vesia. We got to talk about, give Max Muncy his love. He continues to produce. That Max Muncy is back. He ends up going 2 for 4 with 2 RBI. And then Mookie Betts, of course, he gets the walk-off, 1 for 1 with 1 RBI. Bellinger goes 1 for 3. Got to give Belly his love. And that, to me, felt like Cody Bellinger in the postseason. That, to me, felt like Cody Bellinger in the wild card game, drawing that walk against the St. Louis Cardinals. You have Reyes on the mound. He steals second. That, to me, felt like Cody Bellinger hitting a home run, the game-tying home run in the NLCS Game 3. And look, I think that he's a guy, man, for whatever reason, he flips that switch. But here we go. I would take Charlie Freeman over Crumbles for closeouts from Deborah Young. Deborah Young, you're killing me. You're killing me, Smalls. Yeah, I mean, you got Charlie Freeman, you got the Kershaw kids, you got Mookie's mom. I mean, there's some options out there, man. I'm available. I think Mark Pryor, he's a guy that he's the pitcher whisperer, right? I mean, I think he turns water into wine. I think he'd get a few outs out of you, Deborah. I can see you out on the mound. I can see Jesse Arroyo out there on the mound as my closer. I can see Boomer Assassin as my closer. I can see Verdell Newsome as my closer. 9 times out of 10, Urias is going to give the team a chance to win. Verdell, absolutely, that's what he does, and he did that again tonight. He's very consistent. You know what you're going to get with Julio Urias. He's going to go out there, and you're going to give up maybe a few runs, maybe a dinger there with no one on, but he's just had such an impressive year, and I couldn't be happier for the guy, Julio Urias. That ERA down to 2.25. He's not going to win the Cy Young Award, but the fact that he's getting top 3, top 5 votes lets you know that he has solidified himself as a top 10 starter in Major League Baseball. So the dream has been realized. Remember, at one point, top pitching prospect in baseball, dealt with the shoulder injury, all the hype surrounding him. You wondered, is he going to be a bullpen guy one day? No. He is a frontline starter in Major League Baseball, and that's good enough for me. Dev change the code so Kimbrel can't get into the locker room for the postseason. That's from Eric. Eliminate the Padres. Hawthorne in the house from 6617. Joe Silva. The dude doing the robot in the background was so annoying and distracting to watch. Yeah, I think I'm going to do a breakdown, but that guy actually had me rolling. Tio Albert, 700th home run at Dodger Stadium. That's from Gain Huss 56. Yeah, let me ask you guys that question. Do you think that Pujols will hit his 700th home run at Dodger Stadium? Let me know down below. Pass Kids, Bedtime Son. Yeah, is it ITFDB? It's time for Dodger Bedtime. Yeah, this is definitely a family show. Here we go. We got this. We got, who said that? Brian Kim. Kimbrel needs better command of his pitches. Until he shows better command, he should not close. Yeah, that's what I've been stressing. That's what I've been harping. I've been beating that to a dead horse, the fact that, hey, if you want to be the man, you have to have the command. And if you're Craig Kimbrel, you're going to Craig Crumble if you can't attack the zone. And, yeah, I don't think he's confident in his pitches. I don't think mechanically he looks sound at the moment, but time is ticking. I mean, will he figure things out? I mean, should go with another Disney song, When You Wish Upon a Star, and maybe wish that he can be Craig Kimbrel of 7 years ago, because he isn't that guy coming out of that bullpen. Lux and Kimbrel need to play catch. Anthony Madrid, EB, family show. You shouldn't take kids to Dodger Stadium if you're afraid of foul language. I'm just messing, man. Boomer Assassin, Luxy is still get back to usual until he was injured. We got Beat San Diego. Yeah, Jamie Lannister. Kimbrel needs to change his walk-up song to Blow Away by George Harrison, or Oops, I Did It Again by Britney Spears. Brandon League. A Lux seems slow. I be stroking. Wendy. Trey seems to get pass on his errors from Dodger fans, not so much for Lux. Wendy Y, I like that point because I think it's a good point. I think it's a fair point. I think that you hit that one right on the head. And yes, Trey Turner, he's fantastic. Dynamic base runner. He is one of the best hitters in the league, but sometimes his defensive lapses don't get talked about enough. Anytime Gavin Lux makes a defensive error, it gets magnified. And Trey Turner, I think the Dodgers, they don't want to mess things up. They don't want to have any bad juju when it comes to making it seem like Dodger fans are going hard on him because everyone wants to see him re-sign with LA. But yeah, Trey Turner, he's had his issues defensively at times this season. Even the range is there, but some of the throwing errors, like the one we saw the other night, to me have been glaring. I really want to believe in Lux, but his defense sucks and his batted ball peripherals suck. That's from Matt K. Beacon 610 eliminates San Diego. Anthony Keene, my man, a Dodgers Nation postgame show day one. How you doing? Thanks for rocking with us in the late night, forget late night Lamont. This is late night D-Mac here and late night Dodgers Nation because that's you guys, and you guys are bringing that fire down below in the comment section. Pibbles9, Kimbrel hasn't earned a spot on the postseason roster. I agree with you. Trent Thomas, Dodger fans must stop Zach Campbell from getting Albert's 700 homer. Trent Thomas, that might be the comment of the night because absolutely keep Zach Campbell away from Dodger Stadium. Take that Dodger blue hat off your head, Zach Campbell, because you don't deserve that. Look, they shouldn't, next time someone catches a ball, you shouldn't throw the ball back. You should throw Zach Hampel back. Throw Zach Hampel onto the field because, yeah, this guy is a big bully. He takes balls away from kids. He should not get Theo Albert's 700th ball. And look, this is Los Angeles, and I highly doubt that he's going to get that ball. So if you're going to the game against the Cardinals, bring those gloves, stay alert, and make sure that Zach Hampel does not get that baseball. That is my challenge to you, Dodgers Nation. I will be sick. I will be absolutely nauseous if Zach Hampel ends up with Theo Albert's 700th baseball. He does not deserve it. He is a guy that he's just an embarrassment to baseball, in my opinion. I truly believe that, and I love the fact that Clayton Kershaw clowned him a couple years ago. I love the fact that Marcus Stroman clowned him because, look, when a kid goes to a game, and my best friend, he was at the Dodger game the other day, and an umpire gave him a baseball, and that's going to change that kid's life forever because you get a baseball, Major League Baseball, you never forget it. It's such a big moment, and that's how you grow the game. That's how you get kids invested for decades, and you get lifelong fans when they get a ball. So don't try to steal that joy away from anyone. Anthony Keene, Julio was able to overcome adversity in outings now. He's a legit anchor for the staff. He's earned the sigh. Anthony Keene bringing that fire take. To me, you guys know I love the Dodgers as much as anyone else, but I also like to take off those Dodger blue color glasses when I evaluate the entire league, and I think Sandy Alcantara, the year he's put together, when you look at the WAR numbers, when you look at the fact that the 4 complete games, everything he's accomplished, I just think it'll be tough for Julio to win it. And you also have to talk about Zach Gallen. He's a guy that had a 44 1/3 scoreless inning streak that, thankfully for our boy Oral Hershiser, isn't going to be touched. He's a guy that has definitely put himself in a position where he might deserve some strong consideration. I do think that at the end of the day, Sandy Alcantara, even though he hasn't been his best, I mean, last time I checked, he had an ERA over 4 in the second half of the season, but yeah, I mean, if you look at his body of work, a 2.37 ERA, a 1.01 whip, last start, I mean, come on, man. Look at his last start at Washington, Sandy. He allows 1 earned run in 7 hits, 1 earned run, another complete game. So that's actually 5 complete games on the season. So Sandy Alcantara, I mean, what more can you say about the guy? He is going to be your 2022 National League Cy Young Award winner. And hey, a little consolation prize, a NL Cy Young Award winner by the name of Sandy. I'm cool with that. By the way, when Sandy Koufax, when he won his 3 Cy Youngs, there was only 1 Cy Young. There wasn't a AL or an NL. So Sandy Koufax, the left arm of God. Garrett Cole said that Clayton Kershaw is the best left-hander ever. Love me some Clayton Kershaw, but that man is Sandy Koufax, the left arm of God, one of the greatest to ever do it. But Julio beats Max in the postseason. I'd love to see that, Mr. Dead Arm there. What's up with the Catman, Spencer Lomeli? Yeah, I mean, Tony Gonsolin, I dropped an update today about Tony Gonsolin, and yeah, I mean, you're seeing the velocity tick up. He had a much better day, and he is a guy that is starting to work his way back. So we'll see. He's progressing. He faced live batters Thursday today, and he said that his stuff. Dave Roberts said that his stuff looked good. So I'll repeat that. Tony Gonsolin, who's been dealing with that forearm strain, he did face live batters Thursday, which was today, and Doc said that his stuff looked good. So you're looking for the velocity. You're looking for him to bounce back and not feel any soreness tomorrow. So that's the thing to look for. D-Mac driving in the nails tonight. I got jams. Hey, man, you know how it is, man. Russell Martin for closer. Ethan Ingram, flip that hat. Rob G, say D-Mac, we going to have to hit our way to a World Series due to our dead arm pitchers. How you feel about that? It's from Rob G. I think that we do have the offense to score a lot of runs, but you saw tonight, yes, Mookie Betts wasn't playing, but when you face a good pitcher, good pitching beats hitting every day of the week. It's about finding a way to get those starters out of the game, trying to get that pitch count up, and that is the Dodgers' approach. They like to work that pitch count up. They don't like to expand the zone, and we've seen them have success with that strategy, but it is a legitimate question. It's a legitimate question, and I'm not going to spin it. I won't give you any Dodgers homerism. You're going to see that on all these podcasts everywhere. Dodgers this, Dodgers great, Dodgers a million wins. But look, the Dodgers could go 162-0 this season if they don't win the World Series. You guys aren't going to be happy. You guys are going to call me. And if I polled all you guys, you would say that this season was a failure. And the reality is it's going to come down to the health of the starting rotation. Julio Urias, I feel good about. Clayton Kershaw has been virtually unhittable since returning from that back injury. If those two guys can hold up and pitch like frontline starters, then I'm very confident. We just need to see Dustin May, who struggled with command. Last night they were hitting his pitches in the zone. You saw him issue some 2-out walks that they scored on. You saw them get to his two-seam fastball in the zone. I didn't think it was the best game night at the dish behind the plate by Austin Barnes, but that's the real key. Can Dustin May find it? Because, look, it is not easy to come back from Tommy John surgery. He's almost 16 months removed from TJ, and just getting that feel back. And the good thing is, Dustin May, he'll tell you firsthand that it has nothing to do with his Tommy John surgery. He's saying that he's not feeling that elbow soreness anymore in his arm. So, look, it's just a part of this process. We need Dustin May to come back and be a guy that can give you 4 solid innings. Then Tyler Anderson is the same thing. He isn't missing as many bats lately, but he's Tyler the outs creator. So, yeah, I'm a little concerned about the starting pitching and the health. And then when you look at that bullpen, probably not going to have Blake Trinan at this point. Craig Kimbrel is an absolute liability that I don't think should be on the postseason roster if he can't get the job done against the Arizona Diamondbacks at home. I mean, if you can't get it done against the Diamondbacks, what makes you think he can get it done against the Atlanta Braves or the New York Mets or the Astros, the Trastros, or the Yankees, or a team like that? So, yeah, there's definitely some concerns, but the Dodgers do have a lot of depth. The Dodgers do have a lot of talent up and down this bullpen. And when you pair that with the offense that they have, they're going to be in all of these games. I don't think there's going to be very many implosions unless it's Craig Kimbrel. But Ricky Vaughn for closer picked a bad time to stop sniffing glue. Thanks, Kimbrel. Anthony, Kimbrel couldn't close a Little League game. Look, he couldn't close a kitchen cabinet right now, okay? You don't drink except for on 4th of July at Dodger Stadium. Intruder, hey, man. Give me a shout-out, D-Mac. There you go, Spencer, over on YouTube. There's your shout-out. Thanks for rocking with us. As always, carnivorous lunar activity. Kimbrel leaves the refrigerator door open. I like that one. Yeah, to me, he's like pineapple on pizza. When it comes to closers role, he shouldn't be there. Dump, crumble, committee is probably the way to go. From Moose 1032 checking in. Russell Martin we got Kringle, LOL, much love from Redlands. We got cheers, D-Mac. Thanks, man. Ring season, dump, crumble. He does it when it matters. Does he? Because in 2018, the Red Sox moved off of him. He had an ERA over 18. He was atrocious. Okay, he was terrible last time he was in one of these big spots. So. Playoff belly is different, absolutely. I'm gonna low key try some Jim Beam seltzer for you, D-Mac. Austin Lime, I would appreciate that, man. Go get yourself some. Honestly, it's pretty fire. I'm not gonna lie. I really like the what's the one I like? Ginger, the ginger one. D-Mac chest is much more chiseled than Gallo. No, bro, you tripping, man. Maybe if I have like 10 layers of that fake suit they had on. You my boy Blue, yeah. LOL Diane's up, Russell Martin. But yeah, guys. Couple more here, and we're gonna head out, and we'll be back tomorrow. Though I promise you guys, he goes around catching home runs. We got Dodgers expect to run. We got a call out for clutch Cody Belly hit. Let's give Cody some love. Linda, we absolutely did. We gave Cody all the love he deserved because he's the guy that really set the tone there and started this comeback with that leadoff double there in the bottom of the 9th inning. And that's why, if you see the videos, the one I'm going to drop tomorrow, I'm still a big believer in Cody Bellinger because just that reason. Because he's a guy that, for whatever reason, when the lights get bright, he steps up to the plate. But the only thing that Zach Campbell should catch is the flu. I like that. Well, I don't know. I don't know if I like that, but I'm going to give you a fire take. I don't want to wish bad health on anyone. That's just bad. F.H. Heaney should be the closer. Interesting. Diane Schroeder kicking in 20 bones. You're a legend. Eat some carne asada fries on me. I absolutely will. Diane Schroeder, the fairy godmother of the Dodgers Nation post-game show. I'm pretty sure she's responsible for at least 20,000 of our subscribers. So Diane, as always, can't thank you enough. Dodger Diane Schroeder, as she's known. We got Diane Schroeder's awesome. Absolutely. She really is. Sandy is a beast. New walkout song for Mr. Crumble. Everybody Hurts from REM. I Be Stroking. You're killing me with that one. I love it, though. Don Kim. D-Mac, has your needle on who starts left field platoon changed or moved since in recent games? That's from Don Kim. I'm actually dropping a video on that tomorrow, but yeah, I mean, really all the guys are kind of struggling to varying degrees, and Chris Taylor is going to get an opportunity, of course, to start things off there, and I think that Joey Gallo, when the platoons make sense, you're going to see him getting those at-bats against righties. He's really the only guy you're seeing in platoon situations, but let's not forget, we'll see what happens with a Gavin Lux, because let's not forget that Max Muncy can play second base, Chris Taylor can play second base. There's ways to mix this up where if you're going to platoon Cody Bellinger in center field and have Trayce Thompson in there in situations where this is the thing too, because he has those reverse splits, so that's why it's tricky. I fully believe that you're going to see Bellinger in center and Chris Taylor in left. I think that all the guys were going to get some opportunities, whether it comes off the bench, whether it comes off of late defensive substitutions, where they get a few at-bats or something like that. They're all going to get playing time. It's not going to be like last season where you had the Andy Burnses and the players like that where you don't trust at all. So here we go. We got the World Series everything. Mookie, I swear, Crumble eats farts for breakfast. I be stroking. Ouch. We got Anthony Keene, D-Mac. Who in the NL concerns you? For my money, it's the Cardinals. Goldie and Arenado are the two of the top 5 WAR guys in the league. Yeah, I think the Cardinals are a team where they want revenge, too. I mean, they won revenge against the Dodgers after the Dodgers walked them off last year in the wild card round. But to me, it definitely is the Braves. The Braves are a team that's been there before. Their lineup is deeper. Their starting rotation is deeper. Their bullpen is deeper. I'm not too concerned with the Cardinals starting pitching as I am with. I mean, they got some. I mean, they definitely have some guys. I mean, don't get me wrong. They definitely have some guys for sure, but I mean, like I watched the start last night with Mikolas. Yeah, good pitcher, nice pitcher. Wainwright, he's ancient, still has a solid ERA. I think it's like three something last time I checked, and they have some guys, but yeah, I just don't think they're a team that can. That's a tougher competition than the Braves or potentially the Mets. When you saw DeGrom, when you saw how Max Scherzer looked when he took a perfect game late into his last start, and that's really what it comes down to is dominant starting pitching. So to me, I would still think the Braves are the biggest threat to the Dodgers in the National League, followed by the New York Mets. Cardinals, they're a solid team, but offensively, it's much harder to rake in the postseason. I think that, yeah, don't get me wrong, Goldschmidt's going to win the MVP. Arenado's a guy that's going to get MVP votes, top 3 MVP votes probably. But, yeah, it's all about starting pitching, and they don't have it like the other teams do. D-Mac, get his name right. It's Craig Kimblows. Jesus.
Fire take.
What are your thoughts on Judge Doug, Orion Montes? I might drop a video on Judge, but in short, Aaron Judge is a phenomenal player. Aaron Judge might have put together the best non-steroid season in a platform year that we've ever had. I mean, we've ever seen. Aaron Judge has put together such a dominant season in his contract year. We may never see this again. And I think that he's in a spot where he's a little older than you think. I mean, he's going to be 31 by late April next year, I believe. And I think when you consider the fact that he already turned down a $213 million deal from the Yankees, the word on the street is he wants $36 million a year across 9 or 10 seasons. So if you just look at that contract, pretty much half of that contract you're paying for the decline. And yeah, I mean, he's been outstanding, and I love the guy. I really do. I mean, I really enjoy watching him. I like his attitude. I like the fact that, I mean, he bet on himself, and this is the best bet on yourself season that we've ever seen. And just look at his numbers. I mean, they're just eye-popping. An 1126 OPS. And what I love about him, too, is yes, he has those 60 bombs, but he's still hitting for average, hitting over 300. So he's not your typical just straight slugger. I mean, he is a physical specimen. To me, it almost feels like he's an adult playing T-ball or something like that. He's one of those guys where if you watch a Little League World Series game and you see him, you want to check their birth certificates, and it's like that scene from the bench warmers, and you got the money in it, and it's like 20, I'm 12. And it's like, oh, no, more like 12,000 years old, that kind of thing. But you got a bobblehead. Let's go. But yeah, a couple more guys, and we'll let you guys go. Phillips should be our closer from Craig. EB Judge is asking for a Pujols contract. Not good in the long run. We got Cowboys, Dodgers wouldn't have 104 wins if they couldn't hit good pitchers. Yeah, for sure. I mean, they've had a lot of success against good pitchers all season long. Yeah, I mean, if you look at the Dodgers, they really have had a lot of success against, and that's one of the things too, is that's something that, yeah, but on the same token, they've also been, I mean, Sandy Alcantara, they got to him at home, and then he got the best of them in Miami. But, yeah, you just never know. Phillips should be our closer. 31 is hardly old. It's not old, William, but it's old. It's not old at all. It's just when you're talking about a 9 or 10-year deal, you break that up, and before you blink, he's 34, 35. And how much of his prime does he have left? He has had some injury concerns in the past. From like 2000 up until 2018 to 2020, he had only played like 62% of his games or something like that. In the last few seasons, he's really silenced a lot of the critics that said that he had injury issues. He's been able to stay on the field, and he's been able to stay healthy. And I think also the fact that the Yankees, a team that knows his body, knows his health issues, if he has any better than anyone, the fact that they would still be willing to offer him a $213 million contract lets you know they feel good about him physically. But still, I mean, the Dodgers need a shortstop. And that's going to be a glaring hole because Jacob Amaya isn't that guy. Gavin Lux isn't that guy. There's no shortstops that are coming up in the organization that are going to be premium shortstops for this team. And if you don't sign Trey Turner, who are the other available targets? There's a Carlos Correa, which I don't want to sign. And it has nothing to do really. I mean, that's the icing on the cake, the asterisk thing, but it's really about the fact that he also has had injury issues as well, and he'll probably end up sliding over to third base eventually when you consider his height. Not a lot of guys at that height stay at the shortstop position long into their career, unless your name is Derek Jeter, Cal Ripken Jr. Even Tulowitzki is the guy that fell off later defensively. So then there's the Xander Bogaerts, there's the Dansby Swansons. There's some other names out there, but to me, the priority has to be the shortstop position first and foremost. But I will say if the Dodgers don't get a job done, if they don't get the job done, just look at last season. They didn't sign Corey Seager. They didn't sign Max Scherzer. What'd they do? They signed the best player that was available in Freddie Freeman. So I definitely think there will be communication there. It's a possibility. And, yeah, maybe if it's a crazy $40 million per year, $8 million deal, maybe it's something you consider. But here we go, guys. Evan Phillips, lowest ERA in both leagues. That's from Daniel Bowler. Yeah, Evan Phillips, man. I mean, this is a guy that Dodgers just stole from, they claimed him from the Rays. I mean, he's a guy that he's just fantastic, man. I mean, I love me some Evan Phillips. A 1.26 ERA. D-Mac, you're a legend. You're a legender. Ethan, I appreciate you over on YouTube, guys. But a couple more. Who's going to hit that walk-off shot? And we'll head out of here. Sign Bowers, man. Bunn. Very lifting that Mookie brings it in again. Swanson will be a Brave. And they've already started those extension talks. But yo, D-Mac, Seager watching playoffs from the couch. That's from Gall. Yeah, Corey Seager, man. Hey, man, he has 300. That's going to be a pretty nice couch, though, man. You signed a $325 million deal. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a nice, comfy couch. And, yeah, man, if you look at his season, 246, but 31 home runs, 3.7 WAR. D-Mac is the D in Dodgers. Cody, I appreciate you. Yeah, man, thanks for rocking with us here on the Dodgers Nation postgame show. As always, you guys make this show what it is. You guys bring those fire takes all night long. Dodgers get the win. I'm glad we had a little think tank here to talk about the Kimbrel situation, to talk about Mookie's walk-off, and we'll be back tomorrow when Dodgers are back in town. Much love from Redlands. Anthopoulos is a cheapskate. That's from Moose 1032. The only thing Zab Campbell should catch is the clap. Trey going to be a Dodger long term. That top of the lineup is too good to break up. I get no love from Rochester, New York. It's 2:30 a.m. over here. David, why don't you're in New York, go ask Aaron Judge for us. I don't go to his house, knock on his door, see if he'd sign with the Dodgers. Let us know. But thanks as always. Boomer Assassin, great show. Thanks, guys. See you next time. And we'll be back. And man. Big night for the Dodgers. Some excitement. They needed it. Team was getting a little bit lackadaisical, a little lackluster. But thanks, Doug. Great show. We got great job. Ethan D-Mac talk on the Dodgers playing silly before you go. No, man, we'll get back to it. But thanks, Anthony King. Thanks, EB. As always, thanks, Diane. Appreciate you. And remember, if you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe to the Dodgers Nation YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. And if you want to see us post even more Dodgers content, smash that like button. Dong, thank you. David, thank you. Cody, appreciate you. Anthony King, happy birthday, Tommy. Yeah, the legend, Tommy Lasorda, the greatest Dodger of all. Well, the greatest Dodger as far as he's Mr. Dodger, in my opinion. Tommy Lasorda. He is a guy that, what more can you say about the guy? I think that he bled Dodger baseball. He's a guy that did everything in his power to just do everything he could to help this organization win. And I just love when he says, I bleed Dodger blue, and when I die, I'm going to that big Dodger in the sky. So he's up there hanging with Vin Scully and Jackie and all the greats up there. But thanks, as always, for rocking with us, guys. See you next time. Remember, nothing brings us together quite like Dodger baseball. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.